Joining me right now to talk more about all of that is California Congressman Darrell Issa, a member of the House Judiciary Oversight and Foreign Affairs Committees. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria. And it definitely is going to be an eventful day. You can see all that's teed up.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What do you want to hear out of this Putin-Trump summit? What would be victory in your view?
Well, I think victory was already achieved in that the president went in making it clear he's not lifting sanctions without a change in behavior. He's demanding that two staunch anti-Russia people, both Bolton and Pompeo, are also meeting. Really, what the president's done is he's created an environment in which Putin is there wanting to get, quote, better relations, and the president has a long list of requirements that are going to be necessary. The other thing is that the president's commitment to energy exports has put what John McCain rightfully called a country, not a gas station, not a country, in a position in which they depend on our goodwill to keep their economy, which is smaller than Italy, from going in the tank.
Yeah, but you know, the relationships that it has made, Russia has made throughout Europe are substantial. I mean, yesterday, of course, we talked a lot about this deal between Germany and Russia. What's your take in terms of the U.S. replacing that gas deal? Is it feasible? And then there's questions about the Middle East as well. We had Robert McFarlane on earlier, who is the former national security advisor under President Reagan, who said, look, Russia wants to dominate the Middle East, and the Middle East is becoming nuclear, and Russia's happy to provide weaponry.
Well, and that's exactly what's at the root of all of this. Well before President Trump was even a formal candidate, you had this benign neglect when it came to countries' aspirations for nuclear and Russia's involvement. You know, at the core, it's always Russia happy to help you get peaceful nuclear energy that always seems to turn into rod production. And so there's no question at all that when we look at Iran's nuclear success, to the extent that they have it, you have to go back to Russia. But you're exactly right. Russia wants to dominate, particularly warm ports. They've wanted to do that for 100 years now. And Putin wants to expand. He's taken effectively back two pieces of the old Soviet Union and gotten away with it under President Obama. And now what he wants to do is solidify that under this president. My guess is the president's not going to give him a get-out-of-jail free pass, but he is going to push, at least for now, for issues that are more immediate, like Syria and Iran.
Let me get your reaction to what the chairman of the Intel Committee, your colleague on the House, Devin Nunes, told me yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures in terms of wanting a tougher stance on Russia with Putin and Trump together. Listen to this.
Well, the president has to be tough. Well, number one, I would say don't hand a reset button over like the Hillary Clinton did.
Yeah,
right? That's number one. Number two, what he's doing with Europe and NATO is what's needed to be done for a long time, which is one, pay your fair share, and two, we cannot allow Eastern Europe to rely on Russian gas. The Germans are building pipelines, getting Russian gas, feeding the Russian beast.
So how do we stop it, Congressman? What's the appetite in Congress to do new deals? Tell me how you stop this relationship that is strengthening between the European Union and Russia.
Well, you know, if you buy gas out of necessity, they kind of own you, and that's what happened in Armenia and so on. But if Germany chooses to buy gas because, quote, it's the lowest price, and we continue to come in with new pipelines out of Kazakhstan, out of Turkey, our liquefied exports, which are growing quickly, there's a lot of production that's coming online. What we're doing is we're creating a situation in which we can export gas profitably, and Russia can no longer demand high prices and turn off the spigot on cold days. So I do think that even though people would say, well, they're buying it, they're not buying it out of necessity. They're buying it out of opportunity. Let's also remember that Germany ran away from nuclear and other alternatives and now is desperate to try to get their numbers on CO2 emissions down. This is something where the United States, without going if you will, renewables has dramatically reduced its carbon footprint. We're actually ahead of Germany when it comes to reducing our carbon footprint.
Congressman, let me ask you, before you go, switching gears, today FBI lawyer Lisa Page is back on Capitol Hill. She will continue a closed-door testimony regarding her anti-Trump text messages. Your thoughts on where we stand just a couple of days after you were among those interviewing, questioning Peter Strzok in that hearing last week?
Well, I think behind closed doors, the kind of thing that the public saw with Peter Strzok of his professing his total, purity, isn't going to wash nearly as well. Her texts are damning. It's very clear that she had a bias. It's very clear that it isn't a coincidence that the downgrading of the charges against Hillary Clinton from a crime to a non-crime occurred on Peter Strzok's computer. And he and Lisa Page talked about an insurance policy. Undoubtedly, people are going to say, isn't the insurance policy this false investigation into collusion that in more than a year hasn't found any evidence of collusion? And
the point of pointing out that these 12 Russians meddled in our election, they are now being indicted from the DOJ, but we don't really have jurisdiction, so they really won't ever see justice, right?
Not only won't they see justice, but it's a canard to make you think that that this was real. The fact is, our spies are wanted in a number of countries. We're not extraditing them. We very proudly talked about how we put a bug into Iran's computers and slowed down their nuclear development. Well, you know what? We're not turning over our software people that did that just because Iran would like them extradited for a crime. The reality is that's just not part of what happens. When spies get caught, even if they're arrested, they're generally traded off. So what we're really dealing with is, what is the United States doing to protect itself against bad actors? And Russia will continue to be a bad actor for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, really important insights that you bring. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us this morning.